The Complete Guide to Buying Real Estate in Jamaica, 2025 update, by Jamaica Homes, published on April 6, 2025. Purchasing real estate in Jamaica can be a rewarding but sometimes complex journey. Whether you're a first-time homebuyer, investor, or returning resident, understanding the full scope of the process, from legal steps to bank fees, is critical. This guide blends the key stages of property transactions in Jamaica with a detailed look at the costs, timeline, and important legal considerations for both cash and mortgage-backed purchases. Key stages in buying a home in Jamaica. Stage description. 1. Pre-qualification and mortgage approval. Speak to a bank or credit union to determine your borrowing limit. Obtain a pre-approval letter. 2. Property search and offer. Use a realtor, developer, or private seller to find a property. Submit a written offer. 3. Offer acceptance and agreement for sale. If the seller accepts, their attorney prepares the agreement for sale. Deposit payment. Buyer pays a deposit, usually 5 to 10%, to the seller's attorney, often held in escrow. 5. Title search and due diligence. Buyer's attorney conducts checks to verify ownership, debts, and property taxes. 6. Stamp duty and transfer tax payment, paid to Tax Administration Jamaica, TAJ, as part of the registration process. 7. Registration of title transfer. Transfer documents are submitted to the titles office to register the new owner. Final payment and possession. Buyer pays remaining balance. Keys and possession are handed over. 9. Registration of mortgage, if applicable. Lender registers its interest on the land title. 2. Vendor's costs, seller. E-type, who pays, typical cost. Transfer tax, seller, 2% of market value, set by government valuation. Stamp duty, shared, seller, 2,500 Jamaican dollars. Registration fee, shared, seller, 0.25% of sale price. Agreement for sale prep, seller, approximately 0.20% of sale price. GCT on agreement, seller, 0.033%. Real estate commission, seller, 5% of sale price plus 15% GCT on commission, i.e., 0.83%. Attorney fees, seller, approximately 3% of sale price plus 0.49% GCT. Letter of possession, seller, 3,750 Jamaican dollars, half of total 7,500. Estimated total vendor costs, approximately 11.8% of the sale price. 3. Purchaser's costs, buyer, fee type, who pays, typical cost. Stamp duty, shared, buyer, 2,500 Jamaican dollars. Agreement for sale, buyer, approximately 0.20% of sale price. GCT on agreement, buyer, 0.033%. Registration fee, shared, buyer, 0.25% of sale price. Surveyor's report, buyer, 40,000 to 100,000 Jamaican dollars. Valuation report, buyer, 30,000 to 80,000 Jamaican dollars. Attorney's fees, buyer, approximately 3% of sale price plus 0.49% GCT. Letter of possession, buyer, 3,750 Jamaican dollars. Land title search and caveat check, buyer, under 10,000 Jamaican dollars. 1,000. Estimated total buyer costs, approximately 3.98%, can rise to around 9.97% with mortgage. 4. Mortgage-related costs for buyers. Fee type, amount. Notes, mortgage processing fee, around 1% of loan amount. Stamp duty on mortgage, 0.625% of loan. Bank legal fees, varies, may be rolled into loan. Mortgage registration fee, 0.5% of property value. Commitment letter fee, usually takes up to 45 days to issue. Mortgage insurance, if applicable, required for high-risk or high LTV loans. Mortgage increases total buyer costs to approximately 12.97% of the purchase price. 5. Timeline for completing a real estate transaction. A. Cash purchases. Deposit and agreement signed. 10 to 20% deposit paid. Stamping and title checks, about 3 weeks. Completion. Ideally within 30 to 90 days, if no issues. B. Mortgage purchases, pre-approval and document submission, up to 45 days. Bank approval and attorney coordination, 1 to 2 months. Title, valuation, and registration, 2 to 3 months. Total time to completion, up to 5 to 6 months. 6. Legal framework, acts governing real estate in Jamaica law. Act. What it covers: Registration of Titles Act, Land Title Registration and Transfer Process. Stamp Duty Act, Stamp Duty Rules on Legal Documents. Transfer Tax Act, Rules for Paying Transfer Tax on Real Estate. Real Estate, Dealers and Developers Act, regulates licensed agents and developers. Property, Rights of Spouses Act, Spousal Rights in Ownership Division. Mortgage Insurance Act, Government-Backed Mortgage Protection. Building Act, 2018. Construction Standards and Planning. Land Valuation Act, Property Valuation Rules for Taxes. National Housing Trust Act, NHT Contributions and Loan Eligibility. Financial Institutions Act, regulates banks and credit institutions. Common Law and Case Law. Contract Law and Equitable Remedies. 7. Steps in the real estate transaction process. Instruction by vendor and buyer. Drafting and signing agreement for sale. Title search and caveat checks. Payment of taxes and fees. Lodging transfer at title's office. Mortgage registration if needed. Issuance of final certificate of title. Property handover possession. Important tips for a smooth transaction. Ensure funds are available early, especially deposits and mortgage approvals. Check for tenants. Property must be vacant before closing. Plan for overseas delays. Shipping or notarizing documents abroad may take time. Use licensed professionals. Real estate agent and property lawyer are essential. Track government delays. The stamp office or titles office may delay matters. Conclusion: buying or selling a home in Jamaica is a major financial move that comes with legal obligations, government fees, and bank processes. But with clear information, the right professionals, and realistic timelines, the process can be well managed. Whether you're purchasing with cash or through a mortgage, knowing what to expect helps you protect your investment and avoid unnecessary stress. Frequently asked questions: do I need a lawyer to buy property in Jamaica? Yes, both parties must use licensed attorneys to handle the agreement for sale, title search, and other legal formalities. How long does a real estate sale take? Cash sales can close in 30 to 90 days. Mortgage sales may take 5 to 6 months. What is the typical cost of buying property in Jamaica? For cash buyers, costs average 3.98% of the purchase price. With a mortgage, this can increase to around 9.97% to 12.97%. What are the vendor's fees when selling property? Sellers usually pay around 11.8% of the property's value in fees and commissions. Can I buy property from abroad? Yes, but document authentication and international coordination can add time. Always use an attorney familiar with foreign buyer transactions. Disclaimer: this article is for informational purposes only and does not constitute legal or financial advice. Please note, Jamaica Homes is not authorized to offer financial advice. The information provided is not financial advice and should not be relied upon for financial decisions. Consult a regulated mortgage advisor for guidance.